Now, here's your host, Tom Dirato.
Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Pat Jones Show. The Oklahoma State Cowboys this past weekend concluded a two-game road swing at Ames, Iowa. And, Pat, what a tough loss.
Well, it appeared going in there was pretty much an even matchup. Everything stacked up to indicate that. And it went right down to the wire. We had a chance at a very makeable field goal. And Lawson Vaughn, our guy, which is the first field goal he's missed all year, did not make it. Their guy hit a 58-yarder early for a title school record. But pretty much an even matchup. We had opportunities. They had opportunities and went right down to the wire, and they won the ball game.
It was a good first half for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and we'll have those highlights when the Pat Jones Show continues. Well, Pat, for the second straight week, the Oklahoma State Cowboys were part of a homecoming football contest. And as we look at the highlights from Ames, Iowa, a nice day, a little windy.
Really, it was. Of course, this time and the time before we were up there is the earliest we had been to Ames. Used to, it was always the right at tail end of the season. You're prone to get very bad weather. But no, it was windy. They won the toss. They did this 2 years ago. Won the toss, elected to defend, which in essence is going to give us a chance twice with two possessions. We didn't really get anything out of it. What they did was correct from that standpoint, and they got us bottled up, and we didn't make anything, and they're going to get it and drive it back down. But here's a shuffle pass to David Thompson. The wind was a factor. Later on, I guess it was probably the third possession or so, we really do drive it into the wind pretty good. I think it did affect to a degree some of the throwing, but we've certainly seen it worse. The concerns we had going in, of course, they start doxing the true freshmen. The concerns we had going in defensively, we had with Richie Ainsley, some of it, and Link Harden had been banged up and or sick throughout the course of the week, had missed a little bit of practice time. Eric Hobbs had to work at two linebacker positions, which was a little bit confusing for him. This first drive, they did a pretty nice job of some things. There's somebody, Cleavon Williams, getting decked up on top, but they have throughout the course of the season really held the ball on a lot of different people. I think the 11-yard run was the longest run, where he scores a touchdown later on, was the longest run I believe they had throughout the course of the day.
13-play drive here.
13-play drive that they're just methodically going to move the ball down the field. And here he goes, and this is the true freshman, Todd Doxson, who has got some speed. We got pinned on the outside, and some of the things that they do, they're a little bit further along, in our opinion, with some of what they're doing out of the wishbone than they were perhaps a year ago. Really, with the exception of that drive, we thought we played reasonably well defensively. Can always play better, certainly. They kicked the ball down, wind out the end zone. Now we're fixing to get a pretty decent little old drive going here. Denson had, I thought, one of his better performances. I believe he had 5 catches throughout the day for about 70 yards. Here's Mark Spatz, the fullback. They lined up offside, so I think we only had, Tom, only 2 penalties for the entire afternoon, which is, we're getting better at certain things. There's David Thompson. David had a little bit of problem with some of the footing, because he's a fast guy, and that's just experience and getting used to the things, your surroundings that you're involved in. Here's a fullback screen. They did a nice job. Joe Jefferson gets stopped on it. We're forced to punt. Now, this was not a call fake. We were getting a little bit of pressure. One of our end guys, there's a replay coming up, one of our end guys had a little bit of a problem with their wide rusher. We do a pretty good job, Tyner does, of just ducking up underneath. He's got some athletic ability. I'm not going to say he's a speedster by any stretch of imagination, but he played some positions in high school, and he's not just going to go out there and normally fall down. Boogie Johnson. So Tyner makes the first down. We come back, throw this one to Denson. He makes the guy miss and accelerates down the sideline. If he could have gotten by the one fella, he would have gone down there and scored. So we've got a decent-looking drive going. Okay, here's Boogie Johnson. And we don't get the guy hooked at the corner. Fullback has to pick him up. We run a bootleg. Good job of Porter. Good. This is a nice effort here on Derek Jones's part to make a guy miss and gets off down there inside the 5-yard line. I thought we did a pretty good job, and we had really tried to do a good job of blending, run, and pass, and not try to get overloaded necessarily either side, again, depending on weather positions and tone of the game. We started Chris Lofton, number 80 at wide receiver. We're pleased with the way he had played. We started another freshman, number 72, Brian Guillory, at the left guard in place of Anthony Green, who had been a little bit banged up during the course of the week, and Guillory needs to play. Joe Jefferson, we run 2 times in a row, and we get in down there. Guillory felt his way around a little bit in his first start. As the game progressed, we thought played well considering. Guillory's got a chance to be a good player if he continues to progress. There's the touchdown. Lawson Vaughn kicks it through. Now we're ahead 7-6.
Iowa State was 3 and out on its next series, so we're going to pick up the Cowboys once again.
Well, we played pretty well defensively. Like I say, can't really fault us there. Okay, here's Porter on a sprint out. Again, makes some yards. He did a decent job at times. I thought of scrambling. There's a couple other times he should have scrambled. Here's David Thompson breaking the off-tackle play to the outside. Thompson keeps on progressing. He's certainly a ways from being the finished product, but David is getting to where he's a little bit more aggressive.
Took some shots.
He took some shots and held on to the ball. I thought our ball protection really throughout the course of the afternoon was really pretty good with our backs and receivers. A nice job of Thompson. We try to run the sweep to Denson and really don't get anything out of it. But again, Denson had a good day. He's going to fumble a pitch here a little bit later, which was costed, but this was a pretty good day on his part. Got to get our shoulders turned around and had him open, couldn't get the ball to him. Okay, here's Porter going back here. All right, now Gary's going to make I think this is a pretty good scramble here, Tom. Yeah, he's going to get off down here and makes the first down. Again, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to sit here and say that Porter had really a good afternoon. Again, I'm not going to say he had a horrible afternoon either. He did some decent things. He's got to get better. Of course, he just like all the rest of us. But here, this is a nice scramble here. He's getting outside. We're moving. We got the wind at our back now. Good job, Roger Franks. We actually played 3 fullbacks. Joe Jefferson, coming off the ankle injury, played well, and Mark Spatz and Roger Franks, who scores a touchdown later on at fullback. Okay, here's Joe Jefferson. Nice little run here. It certainly helped having him back offensively. Okay, here's Thompson here on the counter play and almost came out of that. Okay, we go back here to throw. Okay, Porter overthrows Boogie right there in the flat. So now we come in, Lawson Vaughn, in case we are downwind. Lawson hits this one through. We've got a 10-6 lead. We had moved the ball really fairly consistently throughout most of the afternoon. We just didn't take them and gnaw them up because they did a pretty good job of not giving us any real big plays. We did a pretty good job not giving them any real big plays too. Okay, here's Doxson jumping up inside. All right, this boy Gilden really makes a nice job here. They get out and slip down. They're going to put Bobby Utter, the other quarterback, in the ballgame. I thought they did a pretty intelligent job of mixing those two around. This kid here, again, has got some running ability. He's going to be a pretty good player. All right, we force them to punt. They are into the wind. Scotty Harmon makes a fair catch, so we're in business out around midfield. All right, throw a little hitch route. Good job, Raphael Denson. Okay, it's a pretty easy 8 yards. Turn around, give it to Joe Jefferson. Good hold here again. We never did really feel like throughout the course of the afternoon we didn't have a lot of 3 and outs. It wasn't like we were going necessarily getting stuffed all the time. This is a good effort here on Boogie Johnson's part. Makes it about 3 guys missing. Comes up a couple of yards short of the first down.
Nice to have him back this week.
Yeah, it is. Well, both those guys they're not totally healthy, but all right, here's 4th and 1. Probably not the smartest thing we've ever done, I've ever done. We went ahead and went for it. I thought we had a pretty good rhythm. Again, we had not been being stuffed. Usually the rule of thumb is if everything's even, if you got some tone of play, I wanted to give our offense a little bit of confidence, and they felt like they could make it. We popped Boogie and went on and made the first down. Percentages say Porter went the wrong way right here on this play. Lucky we didn't get that intercepted. Okay, now fake the reverse, come back, lead him out there, just let a little bit more air under. We had him. We got inside of him on the post a couple of times and really could not completely pull off throw. This is a nice throw and catch here for Denson. First down here. So we're now operating inside their 30-yard line. Joe Jefferson again on the belly give. Okay, we had actually a halfback pass called here. You can't see down the field. Denson had gotten, I could see from the sidelines, Denson had gotten a little bit winded, took his eyes off the ball. I think now they come back in. Right. We batted up. But we did have a halfback pass call with Denson, and Culver came open for what it's worth. We mishandled it. Now, here's Utter in the ball game now. I couldn't tell who that was that batted. Gilden, I think, bats the ball up. Richie Ainsley, who had missed several days of practice during the week, came in and played pretty well in the circumstances. Makes a nice interception. We've got the ball right back. Give it to Joe Jefferson, and we've got some running room here. So now we come back, okay. Back, nice job, okay.
Fred Thomas.
Yeah, Fred Thomas, okay, makes a good job. Here's, Joe Jefferson again. So we're doing some things. Here's a counter play. Thompson does bounce it to the outside. You can see his footing is bothering him a little bit more. On the option, which is not something Porter does well, but we still have it in, he makes a pretty good run. Nice job, David Thompson, turn up field blocking. Now we got Roger Franks in at fullback. Turn around and give the ball off to him on the belly play. And he runs over a guy right there and gets in the end zone. Proud of Roger Franks. We moved him around, plays both tight end and fullback. With the injuries that have occurred at fullback, we picked up the pace for him, and he comes in, makes a nice looking run, 17-6, fairly late in the half. They come out now. Utter's back in the ball game. Those when they were out of bounds right there. They come out and run the draw play. Not a heck of a lot here. We did not do anything unusually so defensively. They do make a first down barely right in here. I mean, we weren't going into any kind of soft coverage. Do we jump ahead a little bit here, don't we, Tom?
Right, they're down together in the field.
They're on our end of the field. They clock the ball, kill it. That was a fumble, and to get it back, now Utter's going to come back, runs a quarterback draw. We have it defended pretty well.
Good play right here because they needed one more yard to keep it going.
Yeah, it really was. If they had probably had another crack at the end zone. We did a good job of containing the quarterback draw. Good job, Burns. Good job, Norman Williams. Now they come in. We got lucky here because this kid pushed this one. The wind was swirling around. We've got a 17-6 lead. I won't say felt comfortable with it, but we did have a lead. We went in at halftime feeling like, hey, we certainly know it's still a ball game.
Well, the Cowboys up 17-6, and we'll be back with second half highlights right after this. Welcome back to the Pat Jones Show. The Cowboys have a 17-6 lead at halftime. Pat, the Cowboys will get the ball to start the second half.
Well, it was our decision, and we elected to take the ball. We had driven it into the wind. The wind was a factor, but it wasn't something that just made you not want to go into it at all. So we get it out here and run the trap right off the bat, and Joe Jefferson breaks one. We get a pretty nice looking little drive going here and get down and stall. Okay, here's David Thompson. So we're breaking it off in fairly good sized chunks right in here. See, David's breaking, and so he's continuing to get better. Okay, here's Spats at fullback. Almost runs over one of them. This was a pretty big play right here. I think this was 2nd and 3. We try to run the counter play, and Thompson tries to break it outside. We lose yardage. Now it's 3rd and 5. We try to run the ball up in there and don't do anything. When we had it going, we punt, so they're going to get the ball down in here.
This is actually their second series. Neither team could move on the next series.
Yeah, we had played fairly well defensively. They come back, run the fullback a couple of times. Some of what we were doing made us a little soft with the fullback, but we thought we knew what was going on here. All right, Charles Verner actually gets circled a little bit. They don't make the first down. This was a big call here. They called holding on them. Now they come back, and they've got Doxson, the freshman, back in the ball game. At least he didn't throw it really, I didn't think, into a crowd at all. Good play, Jason Gilden. They take a big loss, and he comes back out. And long yardage now, and we've got things defended down the field. He tries to run. There's absolutely nothing there. So now this is 58 yards. You can't see at the top. I wish we had a replay of this. They had a fake call. Time the up back, I'm sure they had some kind of trigger word to call it off, but the up back, it was a shuffle pass. The up back, you can see, it actually went inside like it's a shuffle pass and almost got kicked in the head. We've got the ball back. Now we make a first down. Good job, David Thompson. There's going to be a holding call in here, I think, on us.
Right.
I mean, one of the 2 calls we got. Okay, Porter's back. Let's be careful here. Dumps the ball off to Spats. Not much. There he goes back to throw it here. Overthrows. Who was that Culver to the outside? Right. Okay, now we come out and run a sprint pass. Can't get the corner knocked down, and Porter wisely throws the ball away. So we've got to punt, kick it. Now is this one of the returns here?
This is right, correct.
Okay, yeah, he mishandles this. This is McMillan. He's a good returner. They're gonna call one. Is that the one they called, Tom, or is this the other one?
No, this is the other one.
Okay, he had made a return earlier on. They blocked in the back, and okay, this is one he breaks. He's done this on quite a few people over the course of years. One of the better returning guys has been in this league in a while. Now they've got the ball down our end of the field. All right, try to run a little draw play, and we've got it fairly well defended. Okay, this is Doxson coming back. Throws out here. Nice play defensively. Now they come in, kick the field goal. So we've held them. So it's 17-12 now with just late in the 3rd quarter.
This is a guy with 1 of 3 attempts at field goals, and he gets a 58-yard.
Well, he's again, the wind was a factor, and he's got a fairly strong leg. We're fixing it. It was Boogie Johnson's in it. Tailback stumbles a little bit. Porter comes back, throws one out here to Chris Lofton, and now we're just a little bit short. Quarters fixing to change.
That's
right
correct.
now. Okay, it's 3rd down and 2. From out in here, we turn one. This big play right here. Fullback misses a guy on the corner. We don't get it. It's still 4th and 2. No way. We've got a lead to go for it right now. Downwind, we punt it. Okay, I think Gilden or somebody, right? Burns makes a nice play right in here, yeah. So they call something on them, holding on them. Yeah, so we've got field position, or got a chance to have field position here. Got the win at our back. We've got a 17-12 lead. Okay, they give the ball off to the fullback, and he makes some yards. Had a linebacker that got a little bit fouled up on some of this stuff inside. That one did. No, Ainsley makes a good play. Not any big plays, being fairly methodical about it. Good play, Keith Burns.
6 plays later now, we're going to see the Cowboys force a big break.
All right, we run a stunt with Burns. Yeah, it is a big break. They're driving the ball. Calls a fumble. It goes bouncing around. Who recovered this?
It's Cleavon
Williams, the corner, number 8. Recovers. You can see the ball bouncing around on the ground right there. There's number 8, Cleavon Williams. Good job of getting the ball. It looked like right in here that this is going to be a real crucial play here in just a second. So there's 9.5 minutes left. I think we're going to make a first down. There's Joe Jefferson. Now back we run a counter play. Okay, David Thompson making nice yards. Right in here, Tom. Okay, this is a first down play. We had a hitch called. It wasn't anything big, and their guy ran underneath it and just run the ball, Gary. Just run it. Don't try to force the ball. And it throws it in their free safety, makes a great break, and just gets in here. We didn't want to get landlocked totally. We were trying to do some fairly simple things, throwing the ball again, and we adjusted a route, and we're okay if we just tuck the ball down and run it, and you still got 2 more downs. I thought that was the biggest play in the ball game.
These guys took some pretty good licks on this drive.
They're fighting hard here. This really gave them some momentum. I think both teams were getting after it pretty good. Our defensive unit here, they're coming down. This really gets interesting here. What down was this?
This was that third. We're coming up on the...
Okay, I tell you that. All right, that's the third down play. It's 4th down. It should be 4th and 5 right here. There's a couple of timeouts. They're seeing what we're lining up in, vice versa. Backside, they're going to run a throwback screen right there. That is McMillan. Right here, so we got a shot at him there. Okay, now he gets in. This is probably going to be a disputed play, but it's the old rule of thumb that you know how you can tell. You can tell it's touchdowns when that guy throws both hands up. Now they go for 2 points, bounce it outside. We get pinned inside with the corner. Now they're ahead 17 to 20. There's about 5.5 minutes. There's plenty of time left in the ball game. They kick it on the ground. Charles Verner, who's got some running ability, gets the ball. So we've got decent field position at this point. We don't have to panic, which we don't. We're just kind of going ahead and do about what we've been doing, trying to mix up the run and pass. Come out here, Porter, a little flood route, dumps the ball off. Good job, Boogie Johnson. Nice job here. They got a call in there. It was a little bit shaky, in all honesty. I didn't think it was real bad, but we got a break probably. Got a first down there on their side of the field. Come out, okay, run the option. You had a chance. Okay, he makes some yards right in here. All right. And now we come back, trap Joe Jefferson.
Moving the football, still plenty of time.
Oh yeah, I think, was that third down we snuck it? Yeah, third down we sneak. There's still plenty of time left. We're not having to hurry with anything, break the line of scrimmage, cannot make that one guy miss, so we had a chance there. Now come back, give the ball off to the fullback. We're hammering away on down the field. Okay, now run the option. Okay, if we'd had a chance to pitch it, he might have done something. This, okay, here it is. All right, 4th and 1. Thought about kicking and tying right here, but doggone it, we went and put Lewis Adams in, go up and over. He makes that was a long one. Lewis has really got good leaping ability, gets over there. Mike Butler come up and really nailed 29 to free safety, knocked him back pretty good. So now we come back, break the line of scrimmage again. They make a nice play on Thompson. Run a counter play. Looks like from the sidelines he had a chance to squirt through there. They recover. Okay, here's the 3rd and 4. We try to run a bootleg and come out, and boy, the last thing that in all honesty across your mind is taking a big loss and tripping and falling or what have you here.
Watch how close.
Well, it comes in, Lawson hits it, and let's see.
Watch how close.
Well, it's out of there. And again, now, the tie realistically, I don't know, would have felt a heck of a lot better with a tie in all honesty. Might a little bit, but it wouldn't have done us any good probably as far as trying to get in something in the postseason, because now we got to win 4 in a row. We would have if we'd have tied that ball game. But a tough loss. In some areas, I think we're getting a little bit better. In some areas, I think we're a little bit stagnant because of some injuries, but there's nothing you can do other than just try to bang it out. And what we'll talk about in a little while later on, certainly feel glad that we're coming back home.
Well, this 2-game road swing is history now, and the Cowboys home for 3 of the last 4, and we'll talk about that when we return to the Pat Jones Show. Well, Pat, Cowboys home this Saturday. Going to be good to be home.
We have participated in 2 homecomings the last 2 weeks, neither one of ours that we belong to. Homecoming around here has always been a big deal. I would expect a good crowd if the weather stays right. A lot of festivities, something our squad has always looked forward to. And we got the Kansas Jayhawks, who I think have been getting better and better. They had 500 yards or so against OU in the loss down there, so we'll have to continue to work hard. We thought in certain areas we had a pretty good week of work last week. Again, the injuries have sidetracked a few things, but we can't use that as an excuse. We just got to go out there and try to get better. This thing is really not that complicated, in all honesty. If you block well, if you tackle well, if you protect the ball, you got a chance to win the ball. Again, what we're seeing both with us and across the country is a whole lot of people that again, there's not a great deal of difference in. So we're going to try not to make it any complicated. Let's just go out there and try to get better fundamentally. Get here at home, which we've got 3 of the last 4 at home, so we can get done.
Well, 2 o'clock kickoff at Lewis Field. We hope to see you there. Oklahoma State and Kansas, it is homecoming. And we will see you right here next week on the Pat Jones Show. For Pat Jones at Oklahoma State University, I'm Tom Dirato. See you next week.